Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm so happy you're joining us today. Whether you're on your way to work, studying at home, or just relaxing, get ready for a great conversation.
And I'm Henry, your co-host. Hello, English learners all around the world. We've got a fun and interesting topic for you today, and we're going to keep it simple, clear, and, of course, useful for your English.
That's right. Today's topic is ChatGPT versus teacher. Who teaches English better? Oh, this one's going to be good.
Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's the battle of the century. On one side, we have the friendly, helpful human English teacher. On the other side, we've got a super smart, always online AI chatbot like ChatGPT.
We know that many of you use online tools, language apps, and yes, even ChatGPT to help improve your English. But the question is, can artificial intelligence really replace a real teacher?
We'll talk about what each one does best, where they sometimes fall short, and how you can get the most out of both. So don't worry. This episode is not just for tech fans or teachers. It's for every English learner.
Exactly. And we'll keep things fun and relaxed. Plus, we've got a little role play activity coming up later that you won't want to miss.
So grab a coffee or your favorite snack, and let's get started.
Okay, Henry, before we dive into this epic question, ChatGPT versus teacher, let me ask you, have you ever used AI to help with your English?
Haha, guilty. Yes, I have. Just last week, I asked ChatGPT to explain the difference between say and tell. I wanted to see how it compared to how I usually explain it to my students.
Oh, interesting. And was it good?
It was actually pretty good. It gave examples, explained the rules, and even told me when to use each one. But it didn't make any jokes like I do. You know, the dad jokes I tell in class to keep things fun.
That's true. No one can beat your grammar jokes, Henry. But seriously, AI is everywhere now. English learners are using it for grammar, vocabulary, writing help, even conversation practice.
Yeah, I've had students come to class and say, "Hey, Henry, ChatGPT helped me write my homework." And I'm like, "Okay, so do you understand why it was written that way?" And they're like, not really.
Right, that's the key. AI can give you answers, but it doesn't always check if you truly understand. That's something human teachers do better. We notice when students are confused.
Exactly. But we're not here to say AI is bad. Not at all. It's actually a great tool, if you know how to use it the right way.
So in this episode, we're going to compare the two. We'll look at the strengths of teachers and the strengths of ChatGPT and talk about how learners can get the best of both worlds.
Plus, we'll answer some common learner questions, and later, we'll even pretend to be both a teacher and ChatGPT to show you how each one might help in a real situation.
It's going to be fun and super helpful. So let's get started with our first real segment. What are the strengths of a traditional English teacher? All right, so let's start with the classic classroom hero, the English teacher. Henry, you've been teaching for quite a while. What do you think is the biggest strength of a real, live teacher?
Oof. Where do I begin? Okay. Number one for me. Connection. Teachers connect with their students on a human level. We see your body language, we hear your tone, and we can tell when you're confused, bored, or excited.
Yes, like a good teacher can look at your face and say, I don't think you really understood that phrasal verb. Let's try again.
Exactly. AI doesn't see your face or hear your voice. It can't say, "Hey, you look confused. Let's slow down."
Another thing I love about teachers is motivation. A teacher can encourage you, cheer you on, and give you personalized feedback. Not just, this is correct, but you did a great job using that idiom. Just remember the tense next time.
Right. And speaking of feedback, it's adaptive. A teacher can change the lesson based on how you're doing. If something's too easy, we challenge you. If something's too hard, we slow it down.
Let's not forget about culture. Teachers can explain things like jokes, slang, or cultural references that AI sometimes gets wrong.
Oh yes, like the phrase, hit the books. A student once thought it meant literally hitting books. A teacher can explain that it actually means to start studying hard.
I remember that. You also get storytelling with teachers. They tell personal stories, fun examples, classroom jokes. It makes learning feel more real and memorable.
Also, accountability. When you know your teacher is going to ask, "Did you do the homework?" you're more likely to actually do it.
Oh yeah, that human pressure helps. And sometimes students just need someone to listen, to say, it's okay to make mistakes. Keep going.
So true. Teachers are not just grammar machines. We're coaches, cheerleaders, and sometimes even therapists.
So let's sum up the key strengths of human teaching. 1. Human connection. 2. Adaptive feedback. 3. Cultural understanding. 4. Motivation and accountability. And 5. Emotional support.
Beautiful. Well said.
All right. Now that we've celebrated teachers, let's talk about the other side of the coin, ChatGPT and AI tools. What are they great at?
Let's find out in the next segment. All right, now let's talk about the robot in the room, ChatGPT and other AI tools. Sarah, I'll admit it, AI is kind of amazing.
It really is. One big strength? It's always available. You can use ChatGPT anytime, midnight, early morning, even during lunch breaks.
Yeah, no appointment needed. No waiting for the next class. You just type your question, and boom, you get an answer in seconds.
Exactly. And it's not just fast, it's also super patient. You can ask the same question 10 times, and ChatGPT won't roll its eyes or say, "We already talked about this."
True. That's helpful when you're nervous or shy. Some learners don't want to ask their teacher again and again. But with AI, there's no pressure.
Another strength is corrections. You can paste a sentence or a paragraph, and it'll fix your grammar, suggest improvements, or explain the mistake, step by step.
And it works with so many things: grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation tips, even writing practice. I've seen students ask ChatGPT to write sample emails, essays, or dialogues.
Right. It's like a super versatile study partner. It can help you practice conversation, explain phrasal verbs, translate a sentence, or generate practice questions.
And let's not forget about speed. You don't have to wait until next week's class to check if your sentence is correct. You get instant feedback.
I also love that it's customizable. You can say, explain this like I'm a beginner, or give me 3 examples, or test me with a quiz. That's pretty cool.
Yep. So if you're self-studying or just want extra help between classes, ChatGPT is like a personal assistant in your pocket.
Let's do a quick recap of the strengths of ChatGPT and AI tools.
Sure. 1. Available anytime. 2. Fast and patient. 3. Instant corrections. 4. Custom responses. And 5. Great for self-study and writing practice.
Nice, but of course it's not perfect, and we'll talk about some of those challenges later.
Definitely. But up next, we're going to answer some questions English learners often ask about this very topic.
Like, can I become fluent using only AI? Or what can a teacher do that ChatGPT can't? We're going to break it all down.
So, stick around. All right, Let's get into some questions we hear all the time from English learners. These are questions we see in class, in emails, and even in online forums. Yeah, real, honest questions from real learners. So let's break them down one by one. Question 1. Can I become fluent using only ChatGPT?
Oof, that's a big one. What do you think, Henry?
Short answer? No, not by itself. ChatGPT is a great tool, but fluency needs more than typing and reading. You need listening, speaking, real interaction.
Exactly. ChatGPT can help you practice grammar, build vocabulary, and even give you writing feedback. But it's not going to say, "Excuse me, can you repeat that?" in a noisy cafe.
And it can't correct your pronunciation when you say beach, like, well, something very different.
Yes, real conversation is messy, emotional, full of interruptions and body language. That's why talking to real people, teachers, classmates, friends, is so important. Question 2. What can a teacher do that ChatGPT can't?
So many things. For one, a teacher can see your facial expression and say, you look unsure. Want to try another example?
A teacher also knows your learning style. Maybe you're a visual learner. Maybe you need more speaking time. A teacher adjusts the lesson to fit you.
Plus, teachers give you emotional support. They cheer you on, encourage you when you're stuck, and sometimes just listen. AI doesn't know when you've had a bad day.
Exactly. And teachers can help with confidence. I've had students say, "I feel more brave speaking English because you believe in me."
That's powerful. AI gives you answers. A teacher gives you courage. Question 3. Should I stop going to class if I use AI tools?
No way. Use both. Your class gives you structure, interaction, and practice with real people. ChatGPT is there to support you outside class.
Think of it like this. ChatGPT is your practice buddy. Your teacher is your coach. You need both to win the game.
Beautifully said. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can and should use both together. Question 4. What if I don't have access to a teacher?
That's a good question. Not everyone can afford classes or find a tutor. In that case, tools like ChatGPT are amazing for self-study.
Yes, but make sure you use them well. Don't just copy and paste. Try to understand the why behind the correction. Ask follow-up questions.
Also, try to speak out loud. Read the response, then say it back in your own voice. That helps with fluency.
And look for free speaking opportunities, language exchange apps, conversation groups, even talking to yourself in English. It all helps.
So to sum up, ChatGPT is great, but it's not magic. You still need practice, effort, and real communication to become fluent.
Exactly. AI is your helper. You are the real key to your success.
Coming up next, we're going to have some fun. I'll pretend to be ChatGPT, and Sarah will be the teacher. We'll both correct the same sentence, and you can hear the difference.
Oh, this is going to be good. Stay with us. Okay, Henry, now for the fun part. We're going to do a little role play. You're going to be ChatGPT, the AI assistant, and I'll be the English teacher.
Ooh, stepping into the AI shoes. I'm ready. What's our example sentence?
Let's say the learner wrote this sentence, "She go to the market yesterday."
Okay, here's my correction. She went to the market yesterday. The verb go should be in the past tense, went, because of the word yesterday. Would you like me to explain the past tense rule?
Great. Now my turn as the teacher. I'd say, "Okay, good try." You use the verb go in the present tense, but because you're talking about something that happened in the past, like yesterday, we need the past tense form. So instead of go, say went. try saying the sentence with went aloud.
Would you like more examples of past tense verbs?
I might add, also, go is irregular, so it doesn't follow the usual ed rule. Here are some more irregular verbs. See becomes saw, eat becomes ate. Keep practicing these.
I can provide a list of irregular verbs if you want.
Right. So as a teacher, I try to explain why, give examples, and encourage the student to practice speaking.
I think ChatGPT does a good job with quick, clear corrections and can offer extra information anytime.
Yes, but it can feel a little mechanical. A teacher can respond to your mood, your questions, and adjust the explanation.
Exactly. For example, if a student looks confused, I might change my explanation or use a drawing.
Or tell a joke like, why did the verb cross the road, to get to the past tense.
Nice one. So the takeaway here is ChatGPT is fast and detailed, but teachers add that personal touch.
Yes, both methods are helpful. Using them together is the best way to learn.
Ready to move on? Next, we'll talk about combining these tools for the best results.
Let's do it. So now that we've seen what teachers and ChatGPT each bring to the table, how do we put them together to get the best results?
It's all about balance. Use your teacher to build strong foundations, get personalized feedback, and practice speaking and listening.
And then use ChatGPT to practice anytime, review grammar rules, get instant corrections, or try out new vocabulary.
Exactly. When you combine them, it's like having a personal coach and a study buddy at the same time.
Plus, using ChatGPT between classes helps you prepare questions for your teacher. That way, your lessons become even more focused on what you really need.
And if you don't have access to a teacher right now, make ChatGPT your main resource. But remember to practice speaking with real people whenever you can.
The key is to stay curious and keep practicing. Mix technology with human interaction, and you'll see your English improve faster than ever.
So don't choose one or the other. Use both and watch your English skills grow.
Great advice, Henry. All right, listeners, that's our hybrid approach in a nutshell.
Yep, and remember, we're here to help you every step of the way.
Okay, now for our final segment, a quick wrap-up and some tips for you to take home. All right, English learners, here comes your challenge for this week.
Yes, we want you to try this at home or wherever you're listening. Write a short sentence about your day, but make one small mistake on purpose.
Then, use ChatGPT or think about what a teacher might say to correct it. Try to understand why it's a mistake and say the corrected sentence out loud.
If you want, you can even send us your sentences or corrections. We'd love to hear from you. Just check the podcast description for how to reach us.
And don't worry if it feels hard. That's how learning works. Mistakes are good because they help you get better.
Exactly. Keep practicing, stay curious, and use both your teachers and AI tools to help you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of English Learning Podcast. We'll see you next time with another fun topic.
Take care, everyone.
Before we say goodbye, let's quickly review some important words and phrases from today's episode.
Sure. First up, adaptive feedback. That means a teacher changes their teaching based on what the student needs.
Next, fluency. That's when you can speak, read, and understand English easily and naturally.
And hybrid approach, using both human teachers and AI tools together to learn better.
Great. Now, a quick tip for you. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step closer to fluency.
And remember, practicing a little every day is better than studying a lot once in a while.
Absolutely. Keep using your tools, teachers, ChatGPT, apps, and most importantly, keep speaking.
Thanks for joining us on English Learning Podcast.
And that wraps up today's episode of English Learning Podcast, ChatGPT versus Teacher, Who Teaches English Better?
We hope you enjoyed this conversation and found some useful tips to improve your English learning journey.
If you like this episode, please subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
Also, follow us on social media. Links are in the description, so you don't miss new episodes and extra content.
And remember, learning English is a journey. Take your time, use all the tools available, and most importantly, have fun.
Thanks for listening. See you next time on English Learning Podcast.